Hi guys, welcome to the podcast. I'm of course Punky Judester, and it's awesome to have you here for this week's episode. Huge news, well, biggish, well, okay, tiny, but somehow I managed to get Twitch affiliate status like yesterday. So yeah, I've actually been streaming on Twitch a little bit. I did a couple of streams of Postal 4, but we were having some issues with that, so we moved on to Yakuza Like a Dragon. I've been streaming on there. I've so far got 2 hours into the game. I streamed over the weekend, I think it was Sunday, and then on Monday this week I did a quick stream, so basically yesterday, because it's Tuesday today, and I will probably definitely be streaming that every Friday. I will also be trying to fit in a few other streams during the week, maybe something a bit more gamey, because Yakuza it's a great game. I'm really enjoying it so far. I know I'm only a couple of hours in, but the story's so cool so far. It's very story driven. It's a lot more story than game so far. Maybe that changes. It's also very much more RPG-y than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a lot more, just sort of brawlery and stuff. So, because this is the first time I actually played a Yakuza game. I've never played any of the ones before that. Even though I do have them, I have a few of them on PlayStation, but my backlog, you know what it's like. All gamers have huge backlogs, like mine is just massive. So I need to play through those as well. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through Yakuza on stream, and maybe if I really like it, maybe the others as well later on. But I will also be playing a few more gamey games. And by that I mean games which are sort of more interactive and will allow me to talk a bit more with you guys, because that's the thing with Yakuza. I'm trying to let you guys experience it as much as I am, so I don't really want to talk over the dialogue parts, and there's a lot, or there has been so far. So yeah, we'll see where we go from there, but I would love to do a bit more streaming. If you're interested in following me, it's twitch.tv/punkyjudester, all one word. So it would be awesome if you guys could join. I would love to see you guys in the stream. Feel free to give me a follow and take part, join us in the chat. It's awesome when there are people who are there who can chat and interact, and hopefully we can make it fun. Also on the Discord and stuff like that. It'd be awesome if you join us, so do feel free to give us a follow. Of course, you don't have to subscribe, you can just follow. I'm not in it to make any money out of it. If you want to subscribe, obviously you can, but please don't feel that it's an obligation. But it would be awesome if you guys could give us a follow and join me for a couple of streams, even if you can't be there for every single one or for a whole stream. It'd be awesome to have you guys there. It really would. I would love to hang out with you guys on stream and chat, because you guys have been super awesome and super supportive, and yeah, I couldn't be doing this without you. I want to also say a huge thank you to Ibs from Sega for his support, and also Gaming Muso. Mwah, I love you guys both. You've been super awesome. Everybody in the community, on the Twitch community that I've met so far, has been super nice and super supportive. They're all such lovely people, and it's been great. Like, I was also talking to Manga as well, who's a really lovely guy. Really positive, really good vibes. He was playing Dark Souls. Did what was supposed to be a 24-hour stream, but he actually finished the game early, and he was playing it with a steering wheel, which is just epic. I mean, yeah, he's been playing a few games with a steering wheel. That's his challenge, and it's been so much fun. But I've also, for my Twitch channel, created some redeemable points. So when you watch, if you follow, you can get points and then redeem them, which would be a lot of fun. Some of them are really random. I've got one which is like to do a Bean Boozled challenge, to try Bean Boozled, because I managed to find some at the supermarket. These you couldn't get in France for so long, and I saw them, I was like, oh my gosh. So we tried them actually with some of my students, and one of them actually almost threw up. I felt so she got the like animal, dog, cat food one, and I just went, oh, you poor thing. So I then gave her a mint and said, here, take the taste away, because I felt really bad. I'm such a mean teacher, but it was all in good fun. They took it well, so it was fun. So yeah, I think it might be kind of fun to do that. Also, another one is to do to stream in French for 5 minutes, because obviously I speak fluent French. Some people seem not to believe that when I say, but I do. Je parle couramment français, donc je me suis dit ça serait cool de faire un peu de stream en français parce que ben j'ai pas beaucoup d'opportunités de faire ça, et donc voilà, je pense que ça serait cool. There you go. Hopefully I've proven that I can speak some French, so at least a little bit. But anyway, it would be awesome if you could join. Feel free to give us a follow. The link will be in the description, of course, to my Twitch channel. I would love to see you guys over there and have you join me for a stream to say hello and hang out. Of course, like some people, I've had people watching the stream but they don't say anything, and I'm like, guys, please talk to me. Please. But yeah, it would be awesome if you guys could hang out and chat with me and keep me company. I think we're all in a situation where, especially now with lockdown and stuff like that, the way things are across the world, things like Twitch and that, really good way of discovering new things and hanging out with cool people and stuff, because I've been going on a few people's streams and they've been lovely people, and yeah, getting to know new people, get to discover new things, discover new games that I wouldn't necessarily have played. Like for example, I have Dark Souls but I haven't had a chance to play it yet, again the backlog, but yeah, so it was cool to see what it's like, because I mean I only got it like because it was on, I think I got it for like €2 in like an end of line store called Noz, which is actually a shop here, well in France, it's everywhere, but it's a company that's based in Laval, so it's quite big here, and they do have video games there sometimes, which is kind of cool, so I do, when I see them, try and buy them if they're not kids games. Maybe I should do kids games, because that's worked quite well for Peanut Butter Gamer and people like that. So maybe I should try that too. But anyway, let's get on with some gaming news for this week. We've had information which is going to be good news for anyone who's a fan of the game Overcooked. There is the all-you-can-eat version that's coming out. Basically, oh, hello, my cat's decided to come and say hi. The all-you-can-eat version is basically both games 1 and 2 in one collection. Ghost Town Games announced that it will be released on the 23rd of March. It will be available on Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One and Steam, and it will be fully remastered to run at 60 FPS, have a much faster loading times, which apparently is a good thing for the Switch version, because that was apparently quite slow to load. There will also be cross-play multiplayer in a future update. They've already said that it will be for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, which is kind of cool, and then expanded to other platforms. So it will be on also all the new generation systems, which is cool if you're a big fan of the game. It's not one of those ones I played similar kind of games, but I haven't actually played Overcooked yet. I don't know why. It looked kind of fun, but I think it's the kind of game you really need to play with other people, and I don't have online, obviously on the PC, and I also have it on Switch, but I don't have it on PlayStation or an Xbox. So maybe if some of my friends, with the cross-platform thing, maybe it'd be kind of cool to see if like we could, with some of my streamer friends, get together, do something like that, or just some of my other mates just chill and have a fun cross-platform game. That could be kind of cool. Also, speaking of online gaming, we mentioned Stadia. They have just announced that there will be 100 games coming to Stadia this year. They had a post on their community blog, I'll put the link in the description, where they said, "We're thrilled to continue bringing great games from some of the best developers for our players to experience with the Stadia store. Over the next few weeks and months, players can expect to see everything from action-filled RPGs to competitive co-op titles and nimble platformers. They named a few of the games that would be coming and also gave dates for those games. First of all, there'll be Shanty Half Genie Hero Ultimate Edition, which will be out on February 23rd. Shantae Risky's Revenge Director's Cut, also on February 23rd. It Came From Space and Ate Our Brains will be out on March 2nd. FIFA 21 will be out on March 17th. Kaze and the Wind Masks on March 26th. Judgment on April 23rd. And then also Killer Queen Black, Street Power Football and Hellpoint, which are said to be coming soon with no exact date. In total, Google said there'll be 400 games coming to the system this year. So that's a quarter of the games that they've literally just announced what the names are. Which is kind of interesting in a way, because lots of people were saying, well, they didn't feel that Google was supporting Stadia. We mentioned it last time that Stadia is kind of lagging behind. It's always been sort of a buggy system that people just don't want to play because there's been no games, it's not been reliable and stuff like that. And there haven't really been any updates. We talked about the fact that there will be updates, that there had been a post online before saying that, giving hints to future updates that were coming. So the fact that they're announcing these games shows that there is some willingness there to keep going with the thing. They're trying to maybe iron out the bugs and trying to make it a better thing. But when you compare those 100 games that they've announced to what you can get on Steam, like 100 games on Steam you get in a couple of days, if not in a day. It's a drop in the ocean compared to what other systems have. And these are all the games we mentioned are games that exist on other systems already and work fine on those other systems already. So the fact that there isn't anything exclusive, I mean, we said before, and I think it was the last episode, that they've closed down their idea or the department of game developing. So yeah, we're not going to see any exclusives on this. Well, maybe from other companies if they can sort out a good enough deal. Because I guess Google has all the monies, so if they wanted to, they could basically say, okay, bring that game over here just to us, which would make sense if they did that. But so far, they've only been able to get older games on the thing, and which is understandable. Until they have the player base, the install base, companies aren't going to be willing to put games exclusively out on their platform, because who's going to play it? People are going to put games out on the platforms where the customers are. It's also a reason why we're still seeing games coming out for the Xbox One, and even the PS4, even though the new generation of systems is there. The developers know the hardware, they know what it can do, they can push it now to its limits, and the install base is there. There's always towards the end of a system's life, we often see some of the best games coming out, because that's when the developers know how to program for them. That's when they know what they can get out of them, and they know that the customers are there. Like, I have one PlayStation 5 game, other than the one that was on the system. I have one exclusive, properly actual PlayStation 5 disc, and that's Miles Morales. And because I bought Watch Dogs Legion PS4 with the PS5 upgrade, specifically because it was on special offer, it was on, the whole deal. But that's a game that's on both platforms. So, people are going to buy, the companies are going to go for where the install base is. They're not going to just forget the old system to go into a new one, because they know that more people have the old system than the new. And this is the problem with Google Stadia. They haven't been able to get the public to follow them. And with all the stories that have been going on about the different problems they've had, it's kind of makes sense that the companies wouldn't put their new stuff out there straight away, because I mean, they could obviously put their new stuff on Stadia as well as the other systems, but it wouldn't make marketing and commercial sense for a company to put a game exclusive on Stadia at the moment. And I'm not sure it will, to be honest. I don't think Stadia will ever be able to truly compete with the big companies like Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft, because it's so reliant on the internet. It needs the internet to function, and if your internet goes down, like I have friends in Texas, and obviously there's snow there. Who'd have thunk? But one of my Chris Redneck Gamer was saying that his power's been going out. I've had other people saying that the internet's been going down. Well, you know, we're so reliant on the internet. You know, now with Netflix, with streaming services like YouTube, which you're watching on Twitch, all those kind of things. If we don't have internet, you know, even especially now in the context that we are with the situation that's going on in the world, lots of people are working from home. So the idea of not having internet or not having stable internet is a huge worry. And I know for a fact for us in education, like when I've been teaching online for my students at L3DI, UCO Laval. Hi. I've been teaching them online because the university's been closed across France, and they're starting to open now because obviously students have been suffering and you know, it's been really hard on them. Fair play to them for sticking with it in this situation. Hats off to you guys. But I've had students who have not been able to come to class because their internet's been having problems. So, you know, if you can't get decent internet for something as simple as connecting to a Zoom, Teams or classroom meeting for a lesson for your education, then it's going to be even worse when you consider something that is going to be as bandwidth hungry as Google Stadia. And also in America, for example, which I mean, this is something I didn't know until Metal Jesus Rocks talked about it. He had some parts of America have bandwidth caps or download caps, so that you can only per month do a certain amount of downloads off the internet. And obviously when you're streaming something online, be it a game or a film, you're constantly downloading. And this was a huge problem that happened years ago with mobile phones, with the original internet plans. I know Orange UK had a huge problem with this. They said their internet was unlimited, but it was the time was unlimited. It wasn't the downloads that were unlimited. So people were ending up with huge bills because the way that Orange had worded it made it sound like you could go online and whatever, and it wasn't a problem. But that they weren't supposed to do that. That's why I don't use Orange for the internet. The company, well, I have it for the landline and for my ADSL, and that looks, you know, fine, fiber optic. But for mobile, I don't use it because that problem. I am with a network where I do get truly unlimited internet, texts and calls. Pay a bit more for it, yeah, but I get everything unlimited. But that's the thing, like, so even on my mobile phone, I'd be able to use Stadia. Well, not yet because it's an iPhone, but like for somebody who has like a bandwidth cap and is having to work from home, what are you going to do? You're going to do the thing that gets you the money. You're not going to do the gaming thing. So obviously that's a big problem for Stadia, and the whole reliance on the internet is going to be a huge problem. And so while I think the idea of cloud gaming is interesting, I don't think it's at a state yet where people are going to go for it. You know, people would rather have the console at home and be able to just plug it in, turn it on, and know that boom, it's going to work. Like and especially now with like this generation with load times virtually, I mean obviously there are load times, but they're virtually completely insignificant now. You know, you load up on the PS5 a game and it just loads. You get a load screen, it's literally then it's gone. Like when I was streaming Yakuza, I was amazed how quickly it was loading. That's partly to do with my computer, well, mostly to do with my computer, but also the way the game is made. It just loads straight away. There's hardly any waiting for the thing to load. Whereas when you're downloading from the internet constantly, you will have buffering. You will have those kind of things. So I think, you know, it would be stupid for companies to go full in on Stadia at the moment, maybe in the future. But also people buy, you know, like I said, people buy games for the exclusives, and as there are no, buy consoles, sorry, for the exclusives, and because there are no games that are going to be exclusive on Stadia, no one's going to go for it. I mean, you buy Nintendo consoles for the Nintendo exclusive. I buy Nintendo consoles for The Legend of Zelda. I mean, dude, I'm a huge Zelda fan. Like, seriously. I have been since I was young. Like, I fell in love with Zelda from... The first game I had was Adventure of Link, and I fell in love with it. I know, it's not the best Zelda game apparently, but it was the first one I ever played, and I just loved it. And I've been in love with Zelda ever since. Like, it's one of my favorite franchises. And so, you know, that's why you buy the console. And if I can get the games elsewhere, sometimes cheaper, because that's the other thing we said, is you have to buy the games again at full price. Like, if I can buy a second-hand PS4 or Xbox One game for a few euros, like I bought a PS3 game the other day and it was like €3. Why would I go to Stadia and have to pay full price for that game again? You know, there's so many different websites as well where online where you can get games at a reduced rate for Steam. So, and I know it will work on Steam. So, you know, kind of complicated. I mean, we'll see how it goes in the future. But I think Microsoft is also seeing that there is a future in cloud gaming, because they have literally just shown examples of their xCloud for the web. xCloud is their version of Stadia, their streaming platform. They're testing it at the moment for web browsers and devices such as iPhone and iPad. It already works on Android. And there's a reason it wasn't used before on Apple devices, and that was Apple's very strict situation with selling the games, because obviously if you want a game on Apple, this was kind of the whole Epic thing that happened before. If you want to put a game out on Apple, you have to go through the procedures and have the game verified and checked and blah blah blah. So obviously Epic tried to sue Apple because they wanted to put an app out on their thing where people could buy games from them directly on their Apple device, and Apple said no, that's not going to work, because understandably they want to make the money from the sales. They don't want somebody to come in with a free app and then make money off them through their sales. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm saying it's understandable business. Capitalism, what do you want? That's how it works. So it was the same thing for Microsoft. Apple said niet, and so basically they're working on this web system so that you can go onto the website on your iPad or your iPhone and play the games through their server without downloading it, which it's a clever way of getting around it. I've got to say, it is a very clever way of getting around it. The website is a simple application. It has a simple launcher with recommendations for games to try. You can resume recently played games quite easily and access all the hello again. Want to cuddle? And access all the cloud games available through Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So if you already have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you will have access to this, which is kind of cool because it's an extra service. If you've already paid for that, then you can go even further. Like, obviously Xbox Game Pass Ultimate gets you on the Xbox, on PC, and then on browser and on your tablet. So that's actually not a bad thing. The games will run then in full screen on your device, but will require a controller to play. Obviously, probably an Xbox One. Probably, she said. Obviously, an Xbox One. Stupid. There is no info so far about the resolution that the games will be in, but probably they'll be going for something high. I don't think they'll be going for 4K just yet, because obviously it has to work with Xbox Series games, well, Xbox Series S games and so forth. So once they go up and they get the resolution on that, maybe we'll get 4K on there. Don't know yet. What they've said is that they will bundle the web version of xCloud into the PC version of the Xbox app for Windows 10, so that will be an update for that Xbox app. But it will require Chromium style browsers to work, such as Chrome or Edge. I think that's kind of cool. Like, if it works with a service you've already got and you don't have to buy another service, that's the way to do it. Like Stadia was, you were having to pay for something on top. You were having to buy the games. But if you pay for Game Pass Ultimate anyway, and this is like a bonus in a way feature, that's, I think, a really good idea. That makes total sense to me, and I think that is the way to go. We've already seen, you know, PlayStation are bringing in their crossplay, that you can play your PlayStation 5 on your PlayStation 4 or on your devices. That's the best way to do it, I think. You know, to give people that choice of how they play the game, but, you know, using the stuff that they already have. Because I'm not going to go and buy Stadia, obviously. I've been quite negative about it, so, you know, you probably worked that one out. But if I had Xbox Pass Ultimate, I don't at the moment, because obviously, you know, I don't use my Xbox much, but now I'm playing more on my PC, and I'm gesturing there because my PC is literally there. Now I'm playing a lot more on PC. It might make sense for me to get that. For the time, I'll probably just get the PC only thing for the time being, but maybe in the future, maybe if I get eventually an Xbox Series X, that's something I could think about, because then I would have all the options. So yeah, that could be cool, I think. It's an interesting idea. Also, speaking of PCs, nice segue there. Nvidia have just announced their new RTX 3000 series graphics card, the 3060. Oh, you want strokes? Okay. It's going to be launching on February 25th for a price of $329. It's basically, the whole point is that this will replace the old GeForce GTX 1060 Pascal card, which are getting a bit old and long in the tooth right now. It features 12 gigabytes of GDDR6 RAM or memory, so that's kind of cool. That's pretty fast. And it will also support DLSS and the NVIDIA's suite of RTX applications. It's probably something that's going to sell out quite quickly. So if you have an older computer and you just want to improve your graphics card, you don't, you know, because sometimes you have a slightly older computer, a few years old, you got a decent amount of RAM, you got a decent hard drive, just the graphics card is getting a bit old. That could be a good way of getting, you know, updating without it costing too much money, because $329, that's reasonable. I mean, when you compare the other 3000 series graphics cards, which can be up to thousands of dollars, you know, that's not bad. And obviously it will give your gaming rig a little update. Because one of the reasons I actually had to buy my new PC was that my old one's graphics card just couldn't handle it, and it was so bad. The games were unplayable, and it had an i7, it had a decent amount of RAM in it, because I upgraded the RAM, but the graphics card just couldn't take it. So because of that, it just you know, even older games wouldn't play. So I had to get a decent PC. And if I'd had the option of just changing the graphics card for something like that and not paying out almost $2,000 for a new gaming PC, then I would have done that, you know. So I think that's really cool that option is there. And so I think it's something that people should jump on. They've said there's not going to be like any sort of special deal, like oh, what's it? I can't remember how they called it. But you can pre-order them, you can jump on them, and you'll be able to get them from they go on sale on the 25th of February, so that's not too long. So yeah. Also, for those of you who are PlayStation fans, especially PlayStation 5, there have been lots of people who've been saying, oh, I don't like it, it's the white thing. I like it. I like the look of the PlayStation 5. I've always said that. I mean, if you watch my unboxing, I'll put that. You'll know how much I love the look of the PlayStation 5. I think it's a gorgeous machine. It's huge. It's literally huge. It's in a cupboard because I couldn't find anywhere else to fit in my gaming near the TV. So, oh, hello again. Bye-bye then. But it is an amazing looking machine. But some people obviously didn't like the fact that you couldn't get a black version. And so this is where Dbrand have stepped in. Dbrand are known for their mobile phone covers and stuff like that. And they've decided to make black plates for the PlayStation 5. As you know, you have the plates on the outside of the console, which are white, which you can remove, maybe not like that, but you know, gently, delicately. Now Dbrand have basically said they will be making black ones because obviously there's been that huge demand to make them black. And they're kind of goading Sony about that. They've actually said, sort of encouraging Sony to sue them, which is kind of crazy. But for some context on that, there was a company that was first called PlayStation 5, and then the name was changed to Customize My Plates, which had the idea of making customizable plates for the PlayStation. And Sony took legal action against them, so they had to cancel the project and refund all orders. And that kind of sucks, you know, because why not? So now Dbrand has stepped in and are basically saying, bring it, which is kind of cool. So their dark plate, as they're calling them, features a texture which is kind of similar to the one that is on the PlayStation. On the PlayStation, it's got little button icon symbols across it. But Dbrand's one has other symbols like skulls and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. Basically, the reason they've done that is because it's got a very similar vibe to what people know for the PlayStation, and so they said it is familiar but legally distinct apocalyptic spin on the PlayStation button shape, which I just love. I think that's hilarious. There is also an optional skin for the glossy black middle section, so you can cover that over if you don't like it being glossy black, which is kind of cool. The price is it's $49 plus shipping for a set of plates, and if you add the skin to that, it brings the price up to $60.95. So I don't know, do you guys think that's a reasonable price? I don't know. I mean, I personally wouldn't pay that for it. I'm quite happy. Like I said, I love the look of the PlayStation 5, so I don't want to change it. I think it's a gorgeous machine. But I don't know, would you guys be buying those black plates? Will you be taking them off on the offer? I'd love to know what you guys think. So sound off in the comments as always to let me know your opinions. That is all I have time for today. Do not forget, you can follow me on all the social media. Punky Judester on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook. Also, Twitch, don't forget, you can join me on there. You can follow me and join for one of my streams. If you've enjoyed the video, please, I would really appreciate it if you put a like if you clicked on that like icon. It really does help. It helps Google know that I'm doing a good job, and also it's a huge boost for me to see that you guys are enjoying it. So if you are, please hit that like button. Leave a comment as well to let me know. If you got to the end, type cabbage in the comments. I don't know why, it's the first word that came to my head, but yeah, that would just be a fun little thing. It can be an in-joke that we can say. Cabbage. I'm tired, it's been a long week. At least I'm over my chest infection, mostly. Still a bit sore, but it's much better than it was, so that's good. But yeah, seriously, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to follow on social media and also on Twitch, and to join me. I look forward to seeing you guys over there, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.